What a life. Let me get the audio check on this. Can somebody tell me how the audio's sounding? Microphone. Mic. Sounds like an echo. Somebody gotta tell me I'm deaf. I can't hear worth the shit. Oh, 03, what's up, man? How you doing, trucker? Sounds like you trucking. You still trucking, 03? Yeah, so we still gotta add, yeah. That should fix it. Only thing I got to be really proud of is this damn dictionary I got. I was just saying it's that obvious. That's why I'm so proud. Because I have a dictionary and I'm able to look up all the words solid that I could put a favor on. You know what I mean? What's up, Rob C, the redneck? How you doing, man? Buzz? Star Seed, come and water me. Hopefully I got it fixed. I'm hoping I got it fixed. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, it's the obvious. Um, It's been a hell of a 9 months, I'll tell you that. Facing litigation, civil litigation. I mean, how many of you know the difference between civil litigation and criminal litigation? It's a great question. This is the Diet Dr. Pepper, by the way. Rob, see, I've been doing all right, man. You see what I've been putting up. I've been, like I just said, in preparation for civil litigation. Been learning all the things that I never knew I would be learning. I never knew that I would be learning all these things that I'm learning. I know what it is. I know what the fuck it is. Bam! That should solve the problem right there. Hopefully that solved the problem. Hopefully that solved the problem. Let's find out. Let's find out. Last time I didn't have these problems. Maybe that'll solve things right there. We'll find out. We shall find out. All right. So, as I was just saying, there we go. Sounds like it's better. All right. Now, besides the point, I was just saying that times are rough, and I've been stuck in civil litigation. And I want to share with you, what I'm learning along the way. It's been quite complex in understanding. I see what's going on, how the system, everybody thinks the system is a failure, but I come to realize that it's not the system that is a failure. It's us that is a failure. The reason it's us that is a failure is because the system didn't fail itself. It failed you. And the design departed from its true intent in the obvious way, easily seen, discovered, or understood. It's readily apparent to a person that of ordinary skill in a particular art, considering the scope and content of the prior art. And learning along the way is just a bumpy road, you know what I mean? And how we take this bumpy road is how we rip rider the fuck out of them. Tear them fools apart from the very start. So, I was rip rider, man. I was just, talking about this occupational disease like always. It's a hazard out here, not even cop watching. Just in preparation of future litigation. It's harmful to your health, And then it's a it's something that they have a occupational tax on too. They'll try to tax the fuck out of you. They'll try to take everything you got at every opportunity you extend. Especially fools like this right here. Right there on the internet, they'll try to take it from you too. What a life. Can I get an amen? Hell yeah. Shout out to my lady. I know she's watching. Everybody else has been watching for a long time. It's been maintaining, man. That, you know, it's been there for me. You know who you are. And, you know, just because I haven't been up here doesn't mean that I haven't been around. I've been right here in my cubbyhole. What you see right here. In my own zone. Putting it down. You know, in all senses, we have a non-consensual obligation. And we can either consent to obligations or not consent to obligations, you know? But most of us are intimidated by the enforcement of the obligations, and we see the system and how much we may or may not have to lose. And some of us got a whole lot to lose. Others have more than others. But no matter what, you always lost something as a tax provider, you know. And if you think about it, it's coming with that service that you're out there making videos of, the police, and trying to educate the public on police corruption, state legislature corruption. You know, you're trying to, you know, pinpoint behaviors in our society that is obvious that needs a correction. Thank you, South Central Audit, for your support, man. Thank you. You know, I'm not trying to influence negative advice or give an impression of a sovereign citizen, because there's no such thing. I mean, the only institution I see acting as a sovereign citizen is the state. And the statement is to say the state and its agencies, its entire empire is huge. It's a racket. It's crazy how it's structured and its overall design. And it's a product. And, you know, that call for service that comes over the radio, that's a product that's being delivered. And that product has an obligation of standard of care to be exercised in the discharge of that product's delivery. It can't cause harm. It can't cause maleffect or a dysfunctional feature, and someone else is injured as a result of that, you know, damaged property. You know, that'd be like owning a company and you work on cars and you forget to put the brake line on some guy's car. Let's call him Mitchell. And, you know, you forgot to put the brake lines on his car. And, you know, he was escaping from the law enforcement with several old antique VCRs in the trunk. And he was trying to get away, and he just couldn't get it. It all just came out of his pants right there in the driver's seat. And the product default or defect was the mechanic didn't hook up his brake lines correctly. So, in a sense, the mechanic can be held liable for the faulty labor that he put into the car, even though he was running away with stolen VCRs that were antiques that belonged to his mother. That's besides the point. So they would try to hold you accountable for that as a manufacturer and a product of supply. It comes down to it, like the cops, you know, they claim to protect and serve, but at whose service are they really at? Yours or its principal provider of that zone controlled territory. And I say zone controlled territory because the territory is essentially the state, and it's zoned, and it's controlled, and it's controlled through regulations. It's controlled through passings of bills. And these things seem so irrelevant to the issues at hand, but in effect, they know that you don't understand these things, so they take advantage of your ignorance. They tell you that your ignorance of law is no excuse. But like I said, lo and behold, the minute you go set out to learn the law, it's, oh, hold on now, you're not a lawyer. You can't say those kinds of things. You can't write those kinds of papers. That's a lawyer's protected product. Oh, so only I get to make claims and represent claims in all the courts in the state of California. Well, let me tell you something, dipshit. I, just as much as you, have every right in the world to bring a claim in any county, in any state, in any city, in any court that has jurisdiction over the matter that resulted in an injury or damages to my property, or likewise me causing damages to someone else's property. I'm fully held accountable and liable for that. Hey, Michigan mister. Man, I'm just zoning in, and I'm talking about a client's product, a work product, a production. And that production is, provided every day in society, whether if it's an ambulance coming to scoop you up after you just shit yourself from a faulty product, which was the brake lines in your car while you was still in your mother's VCR. What a life. So, extending beyond the product, the ambulance or the fire department come and save you. They're still delivering a product of service to you, just in the sense. So, the product, I've come to learn, man, in this, civil litigation, that they like to call it protected. And they like to say that there's rules that you have to follow as an attorney, and you've elected to represent yourself. Wait, whoa, hold on now. See, they love to attack individuals who come into court without representation because they want a piece of that pie. They want a piece of it. And they got to pay a percentage of that pie and that intake into the attorney's trust fund, which is the firm's trust fund, which means the whole fucking association of collaborators trust fund. They all are involved in the same racket. And I call it a racket because I don't have another option to ask for another type of service in these kinds of matters. There's nothing else available for me. I have to take this service. There's not an alternative number to 911, like 211, to get the same type of product. Wow, let me take a sip of my Diet Dr. Pepper. Michigan Mistress said, preach it, bro. Preach it. Well, I'm not trying to take advantage of you, mislead you, or steer you in the wrong direction. Even myself, I'm amazed at how far I've gotten in, being forced to take a detrimental step in filing my own lawsuit against, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department because I couldn't find any lawyer without a burden of conflicting interests to represent my injury. What's up, Mike Infamous? Long time no see, bro. Long time no see. Long time no see. Oh, watch this. Watch this. You gotta jump out of the stage and you gotta think outside of the box. You know what I mean? Those things is rough. Especially when you're trying to go up a system and you want to call the system a failure. The system is not a failure. It didn't fail itself, it failed you. And all of you that depend on it. So, you get stuck in this box. You get wrapped up with geniuses like this. And they want to call you names. They want to call you names. They want to abuse you. They want to mistreat you. They want to mislead you. They want to lie to you. And then they expect you to believe them. You got to step outside of that box of fiction, folks. So, what I've learned, though, you know, it's insane. It's not about your rights. It's about your property. Straight up. It's about your property. You know, you tell the cop, I know my rights. The cop laughs at you and says, well, if you don't follow my orders, I'm going to take you to jail. That's how much rights you have. And you know, because he still ended up taking you to jail. And then you still had a hard time finding a lawyer to represent your claim. And then when you did find a lawyer to represent your claim, it looks like he lied to you all along. You couldn't believe it. It was just a broad overreach. So how do you get past this system that it seems like you can't win or beat? Well, you don't beat it. You can't beat it. It's not designed to be beaten. But it does have loopholes that you can jump through. And I mean that, literally. I'm going to show you guys something. Show you guys something over here. I'm going to put up I'm gonna put up one of the words that I use. A standard of care. Check this out. I'm gonna put this up. Standard of care. See how this works out. We got all you in the house tonight. The standard of care is the only degree of prudence and caution required of an individual who is under a duty of care. And that the requirements of the standard of care are closely dependent on the circumstances. Further, the standard of care has more closely dependence in circumstances than others. So, the standard of care, essentially, you could take Wikipedia for an easy source of, information. And it has a professional standard to what do they call it? A certain degree. Let me see if I can fix this. To a certain degree, it says. So, to a certain degree, they're required to a reasonable prudence in that professional line of work. Let me see if I can fix this for you. Hold on here. Give me a moment. Let's see. Control R and TV image. There you go. So it's to a standard of care that you have an obligation to. regardless of how it goes. You have an obligation to a standard of care, and that standard of care has a requirement for ordinary prudence. I know it sounds like a funny word, don't it? Ordinary prudence. But that's what a lawyer does. He operates with ordinary prudence. A careful caution and ordinary prudence. I think I fixed it. There you go. Hell yeah. As ordinary prudence. And with that taking of ordinary prudence is the same as a police officer, essentially, and a reasonable person. Now, you need to know that a reasonable person is not me and you, man. The law enforcement, the judges, lawyers, they do not see me and you as reasonable persons. We are unreasonable persons, and for the most part, we're considered and deemed hostiles and belligerents to the system that they target for oppression purposes and economic functions in the money markets. Ain't that a trip? Isn't that a trip? So when you get into the professional standard, I'll take you directly to this. For those of you that want to stick around and learn something, check it out. The professional standard in certain industries, not all, and professions, the standard of care is determined by the standard that would be exercised by the reasonable, prudent manufacturer of a product. Okay? As I was discussing, a product. And that product requires due diligence in all sense. There's a medical standard of care, and then in legal terms, it says, at which an ordinary prudent person with the same training and experience and good standing in same or similar community would practice under similar circumstances as an average standard, and it would not apply in that case, at least, or any half of the practitioners who would not qualify. But it's not just them. It applies to all of the state professionals. Persons with disabilities, check this out. A person with a disability is held to the same standard of care that an ordinary reasonable person would observe if they had that same disability. A blind postal employee. Wow. That's a great one. I don't know how in the hell he's going to deliver mail on a route-free delivery. No disrespect to the people who can't see. I can't hear worth of shit. So, as it goes on, that they have a duty to inform of self-responsibilities as a person engaged in a special and potentially dangerous activity. So, police engage in high-risk behavior and high-risk forms of duties that they deliver as their products as they go out there on the streets. And they target you. They target you for the very purpose of being a money product in their system, in their zoned territory. They see you as the miners. Let me see if I can put that up. I'll show you that stuff here. Check this out. They see you as the miners. And the miners pay taxes when they are in the mines, digging in the mines on the behalf of the mine owner in search of the minerals. Ain't that something? That's a whole nother idea in itself. It's not even a idea, it's a fact. It becomes to the point where it's not a matter of law, it's a question of law. So within the scope of the question of law, the thing is, what do we really understand in the question? Then what do we understand about the facts of law? What do they really mean? They mean nothing. Because, like I said, the cop, All he has to do is say, get out of the car. I'm going to break your window. I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to shoot you in your face. I'm going to do all these bad things to you. And if you don't comply, you're sure as hell, more than likely, are going to suffer a consequence as a result of your failure to comply. Hey, well, he has a different standard. See, he's your neighbor. They say, thou shalt love the neighbor. I would like to, my neighbors are pretty cool. What's up, Rogue One? How you doing, bro? Man, I'm over here breaking down the system, and I'm trying to piss people off at the same time as I deliver an understanding for ordinary prudence in the standard of care and the separation of civil law and criminal law, and being in the unfortunate position of having to represent yourself in a matter, and in that matter you can't find any true representation for that fact. Now that's the messed up part right there. Let me see if I can get this up, because I want to show you something about minors. I was talking about minors, not minors. It's spelled miners. There's a difference in the spelling there. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this up. Check this out. So, in the mines, they have a jurisdiction, and they have other things in a mine. And within the mine, they have the minder, who is the overseer of all things. The overseer. Shit, what did I do? And he oversees the territory of the mine to make sure nobody's in the mine that shouldn't be in the mine. And overall, that guy is the mastermind. I mean, imagine if, what if you, I'm trying to fix this. I'll put this, just what if you were a con man being conned by the biggest scam in the whole wide universe? Straight up. Check this out. A minor, in all sense, a minor isn't capable of managing their affairs, so they work in a mine. I think I've been over this with you guys before. You have a minor, and you have a minority, and you have a mine, and you have minerals, and you have a tax for working in the mine that is controlled by design, and it's controlled by force. Oh shit, hold on, I spelled that wrong. Control by force and usurpation. It is a taking in effect in that zone, zip code, by the way, that it's controlled. So the zone controlling domain is overall the tax provider, the tax obligator, and they get special privileges and benefits. Instant favoritism. All they have to do is show their valid badge. Whip it out. So while we're sitting there and we're trying to find representation, and we can't because we don't understand that it's burdened by a conflict. It's a huge conflict. You wouldn't even believe the existence of the conflict. Holy shit. Well, I had got a request. They want me to show an interview and show some police tactics that are used during an interview. And I'm gonna I don't know, look for a random one unless you guys have a suggestion of a video that you would want me to pull up, you know, in this kind of matter and show you. So I'll just pull it up. Police interviews. Let's see what we get. Police interview. Oh, wrong keyboard. Wrong computer. My bad. Police. Another sip of my Diet 7-Up. So, let's see. Does the zone control asking for a friend? No, the zone control VCR thief is asking for pulled apart tape out of his VHS1. That's what he's looking for. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Foster daughter. Where's it at? What we got? Any suggestions? Suggestions? Let's see, where's he at? I actually got a favorite one. Here we go. Criminal cops. Police jobs is sponsoring. They pop up as criminal cops. See, criminals actually get more rights than those who are forced into civil litigation without attorneys. They actually have more rights. Unbelievable. Then criminals get more rights than people without an attorney in a civil case. It's insane. Where's it at? Don't say this to a police officer. It's bad luck. Let's find out. As a police officer telling you this. Oh man, that was something else, bro. Oh yeah. I want to see this one again. See if we can get this one playing. Search warrant out of art. I get no audio on this guy. Let me see. This
Q word, but every single time I've said the Q word, we get slammed, really busy, shots fired.
What's going on? You got a card?
I don't know. I didn't call you.
Huh?
Bro, make sure not to say the Q
no
word.
audio.
Good question. I used to not believe in the Q word, but every single time I've said the Q word, we get slammed, really busy, shots fired, running code to everything. It just would be a train wreck. So yeah, don't use the Q word on the job. If you don't know, the Q word is quiet. Oh, Bro, make sure not to say the Q word. Good question. I used to not believe in the Q word, but every single time I
Straight up. So I just thought I'd jump on here just for fun, just to have a little good time. Give all those baby mamas with all that drama that shout out. You get your shit in line. Shout out to my lady. Hell yeah. Thank you for tuning in. Thank all of you guys for tuning in and watching. I know it's a little different than what you normally see me do. But like I said in the beginning, I've been in preparation, standstill, in preparation of possible future litigation. In the ordinary course of my business, in the reviews of the files that I keep. That bullshit attorney work product everybody want to call. Word solid.